Greetings and salutations, guys. Welcome to another podcast episode. Thank you guys so much for the support thus far. I don't even know if there is support because I've been shooting these one after the other. But anyway, hopefully you guys like this podcast. This is kind of what I want to continue doing. Instead of posting videos about myself, I want to use this platform to help and talk to other people. So today, we have Joe on the podcast. He has kind of an interesting story. So yeah, get into it, Joe. Let's start from day one. You were born on what day, at what time, if you even know?
I was born on Tuesday, June 3rd.
You don't have to
at
do
around
this.
8 in the morning.
Okay. You don't have to do that, buddy. But that was pretty funny. Okay, go on.
So I was born Tuesday, June 3rd, around 8 o'clock in the morning. Me and my two brothers. So I'm a triplet. A little bit of backstory on that. So my mother, when she was trying to have kids, she was having trouble. Her and my dad were struggling with infertility issues, things like that. And finally, they decided to take a step forward and try an experimental medication that would, jumpstart the process and hopefully work. So sure enough, me and my brothers were fortunate enough to be born. This experimental drug seemed to work fine. It was able to create 3 eggs, and all of them got fertilized.
So, sorry, I'm drinking my beer. I was very enthralled in your story. So, you're one of 3. Your parents had you. Were there any complications because there were 3 of you in the beginning?
Yeah. So I'll jump into that portion. So when we were actually 7 months into my mother's pregnancy, we were running into, they were running into a few different issues.
I have to say you weren't running into anything.
Yeah, I was going to say,
were
I was
swimming
still
around.
crawled up, swimming up.
Exactly.
But, so my parents ran into a couple issues. So around the 7-month period, my mom started getting some pains. She started noticing that things might not be going right down there. So she decided to go to the doctor.
Not going right down there.
Not going right in the tummy region.
Well, okay. I can clearly tell guys have no idea what that stuff is. All right, go on. Yep.
So she decided to go to the doctor, and sure enough, they found out that my brother Anthony's umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. And they gave my parents the ultimatum. It was either lose 1 and 2 will be fine if you decide to wait, have them at the normal, around the 9-month period, or other option, have all 3 now and see what happens, risk losing all of us. So my parents...
See what happens. That just scares me right there. You can risk 1 or risk all.
It's kind of like a final destination thing.
You poor parents.
So obviously, like I said, I have 2 brothers, thankfully. My parents made the decision to have us all. From that, my one brother, Anthony, he came out, the last one born actually, came out 1 pound, 15 ounces. Yeah.
Okay.
No bigger than the size of a football.
What about the rest of you?
I came out about 2 pounds, 15 ounces, so almost a full pound heavier than him. And then my brother Nick came out 3 pounds, 2 ounces. So all of us pretty much weighed up to the size of one baby. Like I said, we were 2 months premature. So yeah, a lot of intensive ICU. Thankfully, I was the only one that didn't have to go in the ICU. I had no complications. I was very small. So it took about a month and a half for all of us to come home. I think I was the second one to come home. My brother Nick, my little brother, came home first.
Okay. So you all came home like one at a time?
Yep.
But not all at the same time?
Yep.
That's sad.
So
Aww.
my brother Nick he had breathing problems. My brother Anthony, his heart was stopping periodically. So they had to stabilize both of their conditions, and thankfully they were able to get it taken care of. Nothing lasted lifelong, which is, fantastic blessing, that it was just limited to month and a half that we were in the hospital.
Right. Well, so, if anything, I need to be interviewing your parents.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how scared they must have been to have all this happening to
Yeah,
them.
those are definitely the people get in touch with.
Were your parents young when they had you guys?
So because of all the complications, they actually tried for around 5-6 years. So by the time they had us, they were probably around 30, 32.
It's not that bad.
No, not too old.
That's not old at all. I mean, but yeah, okay, all right. So that, God bless your parents.
I know.
All right, if once this podcast comes out, you know, I'm gonna. If your parents watch it, ask your parents if they can be on the podcast.
I will.
That could be like a part 2 to know what they were going.
Part 2 of Joe's parents coming soon.
Yes, you know. Do they like to drink?
They love to drink.
I think we would be great,
Get it
great
from that.
acquaintances, and you know, I usually have fun more with the parents than
They're always a good time.
Yes. All right. So like moving along, when you what was it like growing up? Like, when did you guys consider full term? Like, did you grow rapidly once you got home? Like, do you know?
Yeah. So that's interesting. So we got on the right path. Right path as in, you know, regular size compared to our peers and people around our age when we were about 2.
Okay.
So it did take longer. As far as things like walking, talking, all on time.
Really? Good.
Yeah, walked around 2, talked around 2, same kind of
That's
time
kind of late
frame.
to be walking at 2.
Yeah, 1 or 2, something like.
Considering you're premature, that's okay.
Yeah.
I heard boys don't talk until later than compared to girls.
Thankfully, yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we're all chatting it up pretty soon.
Do you guys have any, did your parents dress you up in the same clothes?
Yeah.
How long did you guys stay in the same outfits? Until what age?
We stayed in the same outfits until we were 5.
Really?
So 5 years in the same outfits. We were on vacation, we'd all get a shirt with a shark on it. If we were home going to school, we'd all have, you know, maybe different colored t-shirts, but beyond that, pretty much all the same outfits. Always we'll squad deep with my brothers. My parents had the 3-person stroller, the 3-kid stroller. So they had the wide body stroller, and
I saw
it was a good time.
I saw this mother today coming from Dunkin' Donuts. She had twins.
Mm-hmm.
She was booking it up this hill, and you heard her. She's like pushing it up.
You know she's working her hardest.
Yeah, you know, and her kids are just laying there like this, not even knowing. She had on her yoga pants, hair pulled back. It was just funny, and she was smiling and like.
She knew what she was doing.
She's like,
it was her first rodeo.
I know. She's like, just another day, and I'm like, oh my god. That's cool. So, what was it? So, once your parents knew you guys were gonna be fine, what was it like growing up? Unpack, like, get into the nitty gritty. What was it like?
So growing up with 2 brothers was fantastic. My family is very close. From my grandparents to my cousins, we're all very integrated.
Okay.
You know, my aunts, uncles, grandparents, all live within a mile, 2 miles away from each other.
Okay.
So we grew up in a really, you know, close, tight-knit family. Growing up, we definitely all got along. We never fought or anything like that.
Yeah, right.
We didn't like physically ever fight. Thank God. But yeah, we'd obviously bicker back and forth.
Who's the weaker one?
My baby brother Anthony.
How is he the baby if you all are twins, triplets?
So I'm the oldest. We have my brother Nick in the middle. He's way bigger than me. And then my brother Anthony, who's just a little bit smaller than me.
I have seen pictures.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of his siblings, and I'm like, "Are you sure you guys were triplets?"
Yeah.
Because he's huge
He's
compared
huge.
to the rest
We
of
all
you.
look, you know,
Yes.
you can tell that we're related, but we don't look too much alike.
So you're not identical.
Fraternal. Yep. It's
Fraternal.
good. Should have bought that one up.
Okay, I have 2 cousins of twins. When they were little, they couldn't pronounce the word fraternal, so they call it finagle. So they'll be like, we're finagle twins, and I'm like, finagle, huh?
So, a fun fact, typically with kids, when you see twins, triplets, things like that,
Yes.
Fraternal means most likely that it was in vitro or some kind of like experimental drug like we did. While natural birth twins, it's an egg that splits into 2 or 3.
Right.
So that's why you get fraternal and identical.
So twins, you said, say that again, twins are because of what?
So if you did something called in vitro, which is I think where they implant the eggs into you, there's different eggs.
Yes.
So it's a totally different makeup. You still do have the same DNA, things like that. But when it's an egg that actually splits into 2, that's when you get the identical.
So so what you're saying is if you're doing IVF, there's a higher chance that you'll have twins.
Well, yeah, number one, higher percentage you'll have twins, and number two, like I said, they'll always be fraternal because it's separate eggs.
Oh,
it's not stemming from the same egg.
So they will always be fraternal.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how factual that is.
I think it's 100% just because, like I said, the eggs don't split.
Where are your sources?
My parents.
Your parents. I'm not saying that they're not lovely people,
Like,
but I need like strict. Like if I go online, I need a .org or a .net behind that to make sure it's
you
factual.
could maybe pull it up in the background.
Okay, I'll pull it, but then you can't see my beautiful channel because I'm so arrogant. So
There we go.
you and your siblings never fought. Did you guys share the same room?
So we did up until I would say middle school. We all shared a room, and then my one brother Anthony moved out.
Why was he the one that moved out? Did he hate you?
He didn't hate us, so
Why did you get to move out?
kind of touch on it. He wanted to move out. He wanted to get his own room.
He didn't like
it was
you guys.
crammed in there.
So he didn't like you guys.
He did not like us. I mean, I didn't want to share a room, but I didn't have a choice because at that time we didn't have an extra room. I couldn't move out of the room because we didn't have an extra room in the house. So I had to live with my one brother Nick up through high school. But yeah, I mean, it was like I said, we never really fought. Me and my brother Nick, we do get along. I wouldn't say we get along better at all because now, especially nowadays, we all get along about the same. Me and my brother Nick have the same friends.
Well, that's because you guys were in the same room. Like you guys. So, question.
We played the same sports.
So, when was your brother who moved out, Nick?
Anthony.
Anthony. So when Anthony moved out, you all have biblical names, right?
Yeah, we have
So
all
when
same
is
names.
Anthony biblical?
Yeah.
I figured.
Same Anthony.
God, sorry. So when Anthony moved out, would you say you and Nick became closer, and then you ganged up? Oh, I'm kidding. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that we necessarily
kidding.
became closer, but I mean, no, it is a point. Me and Nick did have the same friends, always played the same sports, always did the same things.
Right.
Where Anthony was just into different things than us, and that's not stemming from him moving out or anything like that. That's just as we grew up, we all had different interests, hobbies, obviously different body types, which attributed to things like playing sports.
So what were you and Nick into?
So when we were growing up, number one, we both played lacrosse. We both
Ew.
pursued it in college.
You
And
played lacrosse?
yeah, I love lacrosse.
You like lacrosse?
I love lacrosse.
Okay, whatever. It's not that I dislike it. I can't see the ball.
Yeah.
Like, that makes me so mad.
It gets hard.
It's not hard. It's impossible. Like, it's not, like, when I went to Penn State, my friend took me to a lacrosse game. After about 20 minutes, I'm like, I'm going to leave you. And he's like, why? I said, I can't see the damn ball. Checking your watch. You don't like it? You don't like the podcast?
Oh,
Why
I
are
like
you checking
podcast.
Why are you checking
I
your
love
watch?
the podcast, guys.
Why are you checking your watch? Not kidding. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, I can't see the ball. How do you see it?
Kind of tough for me too, but you don't really know where it's coming from until it gets right up close.
Okay, all right. So you played, where'd you go to college?
I went to Montclair State University, so I went there originally to play lacrosse, and then decided against it when I was a freshman.
What made you decide against it?
The coach left. The coach I was supposed to play for left in the
Don't you hate
summer.
that? I think that happened at Penn State
Yeah.
with O'Brien.
Yep.
And then what's his name came in? Franklin.
Yep.
But
Same kind of similar situation. So I no longer felt comfortable playing there.
did you not like the new coach?
No, and he
No?
had some complications.
Is he gone?
He passed away.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
unfortunate.
he had cancer.
Aw,
Yeah.
and you quit on him.
I mean,
Jerk.
it
I'm kidding.
didn't make sense to play. It just I had accepted the opportunity because I liked the coach. That was it at first, and then it didn't really match well with the new coach, and yeah, sure enough, team kind of took a spill, and
Well, yeah, he died.
yeah,
That's unfortunate.
it was very unfortunate.
Okay, so did you all go to the same not high school. Did you all go to the same college?
No, so I went to Montclair State University. My brother Nick went to Centenary University and played lacrosse. My brother Anthony went to community college and then is working at Apple.
Apple, which one?
He works at Apple at the Quick Ridge one.
Oh, I
In New
thought.
Jersey.
Okay, I thought.
Like Apple.
Okay. Oh no, I'm thinking he worked at the one on Walnut Street.
Oh, no. So
Oh.
I'm from Princeton, South Brunswick, New Jersey.
You're the second Jersey person I've had this week on the podcast. No, you guys can't drive. No. Princeton. So you're like closer to New York.
I'm right in the center, so
Okay.
I'm 10 minutes away from New Brunswick, 10 minutes away from Princeton.
The only reason why I know this, when you go to New York, the MJ Transit goes straight through Princeton.
Got it.
It's cheaper than Amtrak.
Way cheaper.
You know how much
I
this?
never take Amtrak. It's way
It's
too expensive.
for disability people, it's $51 one way. That's the discount.
That's crazy.
What is it for you if you were to take
The price changes, but like anywhere from 50 to 80.
one way?
I don't know, maybe.
See,
So I've never paid for an Amtrak myself. The only time I've ever taken Amtrak is with my company to put me on it, because I always take New Jersey public transportation, New York public transportation.
So you only take the good stuff when someone else is paying for it?
Yes.
My man.
Hell yeah.
Same way.
Hell yeah.
Yes, my man. Same way. I'm just like when I take a flight, I'll do my basic economy,
Yeah.
and then we're not gonna pay for it. Main cabin extra. It is.
There we go. Jazz knows the drill.
Yes. So, where is Montclair State University?
So Montclair State is in Montclair, Clifton, and Little Falls. So it's in Essex County.
It's in New Jersey?
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
North Jersey,
That's
about
okay.
20-30 minutes away from Hoboken.
Okay. So that's close to New York.
Yeah,
Okay.
very close. So when I went to Montclair was when I first kind of opened my eyes to things like working in New York City, kind of expanding my dreams, I guess you could say, from just wanting to get a job in New Jersey and do something, basic. I never really had thought outside the box.
Right.
And then when I had access to New York City,
Right.
that's when I, started getting internships in New York and started really opening my mind to the idea of working in New York City. And
I love New York.
I loved it. I mean, I'm here on lease right now, so.
Right. But I love New York. Well, no, love, hate. But I'm with you on there. What is your degree in? And what was your college experience like?
So
I'm making fun of you and I'm talking into it too. Gotta call myself out.
there we go.
Yes.
So I got a degree in economics and minored in entrepreneurship. It was economics and finance.
Right.
My freshman year, I really messed around a lot and didn't take school seriously.
Describe messed around a lot.
I was just,
What do you know? I don't know.
So I'll tell
To tell one thing.
a story.
Yeah, tell one story.
And
No
it's
judgment,
because
guys.
I'm wearing this shirt,
Oh God,
right? It's because I'm wearing this shirt.
is this a douchebag story?
No.
Okay.
Kind of. So, my first week of college, I got there and I had, partied and stuff in high school, things like that. But I've never been open to the whole, no parents, no rules, that kind of thing.
So you went all out.
So I went all out the
Yes!
first week, 2 weeks of college. So, first week, 2 weeks, I'm going crazy. I meet this girl, whatever, and I get the worst hickeys on my neck, up and on my neck.
I thought you were gonna say an STD.
Oh, hell,
Lord,
no.
I was about to say this is gonna be
Never
quite
those.
Never
Never
good.
once.
Good.
So yeah, so I was obviously going crazy, drinking, meeting people, and that happened. The funny thing about that was, and like I said, I wish I had pictures of something. Tennis ball sizes, huge things on my neck.
It's almost like you're proud of this. Now,
Well, I'll tell you. So the story's funny. So
Okay.
I wasn't proud of it. I was very upset because, so it turns out I went out, did whatever the night before. The next day, Monday morning,
Yeah.
was a parents' brunch for all the new kids at Montclair. It was kind of like a 2-week check-in. Like,
Moron.
are you enjoying it? Do you hate your life? Do you want to go home?
Moron.
So I took this shirt from the bottom of my 2 weeks of school. I had ran through almost all my clothes already because I was just changing, going out, doing this and that. Pulled this from the bottom of my laundry bin.
I know
It was
it's
so wrinkly and
smelly.
just so wrinkly. Yeah, it had been through a party. It was like I said at the bottom of the laundry bin. Wore these pants that I wore the night before. Had these big things on my neck. Didn't have time to shower, so I'm sweaty. I look terrible. And I get to the place where, we're all meeting. It was on campus. My parents are like, you look like shit. Like, what happened in the 2 weeks? And I remember I just looked at them and said, Mom and Dad, thank you. I love you. I'm having the best time of my life.
You look like shit. I'm having the best
I'm
time.
having the best time. And it was a pretty silent brunch, to say the least.
Ooh. So did your other siblings come up, or were they in college?
I think one of them came up for that. And I mean, I don't know. They knew that when I like being so. It's not just drinking. Obviously, you know, people have their vices, but
Right.
for me, I will really like being social. I always have liked
Me
being
too.
social. So when I came to school, it wasn't just an opportunity to drink and party and blah blah blah. It was an opportunity to meet new people, and for me, that was the most exciting part. That was always, you know, beyond drinking, whatever. The main driving force behind me going out, still to this day, when I was in college, was the opportunity to go out and meet new people.
Now, so I've never had a hickey in my life. Do they hurt?
When you're getting them, yeah, and then
Really?
afterwards, really irritating. It's like getting if you put a vacuum on yourself, that's what it is.
Oh.
And I haven't gotten one in a long time. and
So
I'm
she
gonna
was
try and stay
really into you.
really ripping it. Really,
Did you give her any hickeys?
I don't. I think, but like I
Punk.
wasn't into that. Like
Punk.
I understood. I understood that people
Was-
have class the next day and people's parents see them.
That's not what you were thinking, or else you would
It
have
wasn't what I
known.
was thinking at the
Or
time.
else you
but-
wouldn't have known. You would have cleaned up better for your parents.
I did put my girlfriends at the time did put makeup on me,
That's a damn
and it
shame.
didn't work.
That's a damn
Didn't
shame.
work.
I'm sure your parents are like, this is what we're paying for. This is.
That was the exact conversation.
So you got a degree, right?
I got my degree.
So then, how long did it take you?
So that's kind of what I was running into, that funny story. When I was a freshman, I was really focused on the wrong things. Number one, got mono. So I got mono first semester. Yeah, I know. I was. It was what I don't know. You know, I don't know who I got it from. I don't know what happened, but
You got mono.
I got mono,
Wow.
and it kind of ruined my life for a little bit of
Well,
time.
yeah, I had mono. But here's the thing, I had it when I was 5.
See?
Which is weird. So, like, I'm adopted, but, like, my adopted mom, she didn't know me at the time.
Yeah.
She's like, well, then who the heck kissed you? Like, what is...
Yeah.
She's like, well, how did you get it? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But we know how you got it.
So
Was it the hickey girl?
I don't know who it was. I
Okay.
never was able to pinpoint it. So I got mono.
What's it
and
like? Because I was so young, I don't
So-
remember.
I didn't know that I had it, and I continued to drink and do whatever, but I was sleeping
Genius.
for 16 hours out of the day, 16, 17 hours out of the day. So I would wake up, maybe, first semester, freshman year, I had all 8:30 classes for the week. Maybe wake up and go to my class, maybe, but like I said, I was so tired in the morning that I couldn't do anything.
8:30 classes. on
8:30
the
every
way.
day when I was a freshman. It's crazy.
Quick side, I got a question for. So, like, you're in high school.
Yep.
Classes started at 7:40 for me, right?
Yeah.
Or for you too. You get there, you're energized, you're happy. The moment you hit college,
Just
8:30
downhill.
classes. You're like,
Impossible.
you're like, how the fuck did I do this for 4 years, for like my entire life?
I don't know.
Like, it is the worst.
Like, that's the thing. I was
Right?
gonna say, I don't know how I did it, but I didn't really do it. So,
Yeah, you had mono.
exactly.
Damn.
So I either didn't go to class. I would sleep. Not that I didn't want to go to class. I would legitimately sleep through alarms. It was crazy. I never experienced anything.
Yeah, you had
Anything like
mono.
this. Yeah, but I didn't
Okay.
know. So
Right.
I just thought I didn't know. I just thought I was really tired all the time. I didn't know that I was sick because I wasn't coughing. I didn't have headaches. I was just sleeping all the time.
Okay.
So my friends were like, "There's something wrong with you," but I was like, "I don't care. Like, fuck it. Like, let's just go out."
Right.
So I would sleep until it was time to go out,
Right.
and then I would get woken up by all my friends banging on the door,
That's
and
a
they'd
dick.
resurrect me from my bed and take me out.
So you would. So you.
I'd be sleeping for like 6 hours.
You had convenient mono. There's no such thing
I
as
had convenient mono.
mono, but you
I
only had.
maximized it.
Yes. Okay. So like, when did it come full circle?
So after about 1 month of doing the same things, I got really, really sick. Like,
Okay.
I'm talking like couldn't move, like in my bed, like thought I was gonna die, like really, really sick.
That's
And
funny.
I went to the doctor,
Yeah.
and they said, "You don't have anything wrong with you, but from what we got, from the blood samples we got, you just had mono for a month and a half. What's wrong? Like, how didn't you know? What have you been doing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been playing flag football. I've been drinking, been doing this." And they're just like, "Yeah, you could have died from this. Yeah.
Yo,
So
I
it was
had-
that was kind of a wake up call. And through mono, I did experience like depression for the first time. So I never had felt
That's
down.
probably from the alcohol.
The alcohol, the mono, like it is a side effect of mono, like didn't help, but that was the first time I ever felt like, nah, I'm a really optimistic person. I always look at things on the brighter
Perp?
side.
You're an optimistic perpetrator.
I'm an optimistic perp.
Yes.
And yeah, I always look on the brighter side of things. So So
was
when
funny.
I don't know, when I started feeling down all the time, it was just really weird. And then I remember feeling like kind of depressed for a while, and then I distinctly remember. I distinctly remember when I didn't feel that way anymore, and I woke up every day feeling like really thankful and happy that I wasn't feeling down for no reason.
Back in, you know when I told you I was in the hospital for pneumonia?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought I just had shortness of breath.
Right?
Right? I get into the, I could not breathe. Get to the ER, right? First they're like, oh, well, so your sats are supposed to be between 93 and 100. They checked mine, 79.
What?
Yeah, and then, so, they hooked me up and everything. They're like, we're just going to do a couple blood tests. And then when the results came back, they started working on me, like, super fast. And I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
And they're like, don't worry about it, honey. Just relax. Turns out, I get back to, they get me in the room, I'm nice and relaxed. They had to put me on my breathing machine for like a day and a half because they're like, yeah, you went septic, you have pneumonia in both.
Man.
They're like, you have pneumonia in both lungs, and if you didn't come any sooner, you might have died.
Poor Jazz.
I'm just saying, so I know what you went through.
Yeah.
And like
It's crazy.
they were proud of me. They're like, it's a good thing you came in, and my mom's just like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, how did you not know?
How did you not know
Yep.
something? Because she's like, you knew you weren't feeling that great because I had been complaining of body aches and everything.
Yeah.
Quick thing, when I left, I was at the airport. There was a doctor there, coincidentally, who said, I think something's wrong with you. I've been watching you and you're breathing really heavy. He's like, I know you're kind of overweight, but you shouldn't be breathing that heavy even for that.
That's crazy.
And I didn't listen to him. I should have. And I was at the exit because I was at Philadelphia International.
Yeah.
I should have turned my ass around and gone home.
Right.
But then I didn't. But so yeah, I was in the hospital.
Just a couple days later, so the doctor was
Yeah,
like,
even the doctor was like, "You need to go
you
home."
need to take care of that, yeah.
I was in so much pain that I missed my first flight.
So then what'd you do? You went to the hospital from the
Florida.
airport? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You got sick.
Yeah, the doctor's like, at least you got sick in Florida. Because
Right.
at that time it was cold up here. So she's like, at least you're in warm climate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you guys take me outside? Because I've been stuck there, like, not in your condition. You don't need anything that would get any kind of, like, fuck.
Yeah, like I can't even enjoy it.
Yeah, so, but I stayed an extra day. It was fine.
So,
But yeah, back to your, so after mono and being in the depression and everything, probably from drinking, what did you learn from your depression? Because I've suffered from it. What did you learn?
So that's an interesting question. So like I said before, I had never felt anything remotely like that. Honestly, if I'm being 100% candid, I kind of thought that like depression was fake, and it took more than like there was a couple.
You thought depression was fake?
I didn't think it was fake.
Okay.
I didn't know. I didn't understand it. Let me rephrase. I didn't think it was fake. I
Don't-
didn't understand it.
No, don't rephrase
You know?
like because you've learned from it.
Yeah.
I want you honest. You thought it was
Yeah.
probably something up
Yeah,
here.
that like you can
get
really
over it.
buckle down and control.
Right.
And then from a couple experiences that happened that year, I learned more about it. And personally, it was really interesting because, like I said, I would wake up every day feeling down on myself, not optimistic about what was going on. Like it felt like there was a huge weight on my chest, 24/7.
Right.
And like I said, it just was so. All these feelings were so new to me. Sleeping all the time, feeling really down, not feeling self-confident, were just things that problems that I never had to deal with in the past.
Did you cry? I cried a lot.
I don't know that I cried, but
You would admit?
No, I'm being honest. I don't know that I cried, but I definitely was emotionally all over I was a whirlwind of emotions. I felt differently about things than I had ever felt before. I felt, I would call my mom and maybe I would cry. If I remembered, I would say it, but I would be like, I want to get out of here one day. But then the next day, I'd be not feeling as down on myself and be like, no, like I have a bunch of friends, like I like it. So I would say for me, it wasn't as much the feeling of being down. It was the constant whirlwind of emotions all the time.
I'll never forget one day in college. This is how I knew, and I didn't even fix it then, but I knew something was wrong with me. I had to take a math test in college, and my seat was at the window. I didn't know the answer to the test. One question. I wound up getting a 95 on it.
There you go.
But I did not know one answer to the question, and I had so much emotion.
Right.
I was so depressed and so just like out of it. I'm like, I don't know the answer. I need to jump out the window. Like what? Like
Yeah,
that
why
makes
is that the
no.
conclusion?
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you
Right,
either
and
know
that's
it or
what it
you.
does, you know?
Yeah, I was so like,
It's like thinking worst case scenario all the time.
and right. So
Everything's bad and everything's weighing on you.
I raised my hand and he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, can I take a break, please?" And like, he could see on my face that something was
Yeah.
wrong. And he was able to calm, like, he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I don't know the answer to the question. I want to jump out the window." He's like, "Okay, like, calm down."
I'm down, it's all good.
He's like, "It's not that serious."
Yeah.
He's like, "If you don't know it, you just don't know it. You could still get a good grade. Just go back in and finish it." So he was able to help me out. But like, I know that feeling.
Right?
Like, that's,
Kind of, the best way that I can put it into words is just helpless.
Yeah.
And I've never felt, so
did you seek professional help, or after the lotto it went away?
I didn't seek professional help. It went away. Like once I got really sick like that, after like 2 weeks, I just like I was weak as shit. Like I
Right.
had lost a bunch of weight. Like it was
You're
like
kind of thin now.
yeah. I mean, but I weigh like say like 170 pounds right now.
Right.
Then I weighed like 145 pounds, and was like probably not too much shorter. You know, like I really had like thinned out.
Did your parents come up to see you?
Yeah, for sure. Like, well, I really thought I was dying, and I couldn't.
Why didn't they
move.
take you back?
I did go home, so they took me to the doctor, and then I did go home for a little bit.
Okay.
But like I said, I really thought that I just couldn't move and stuff.
Right.
You know, like it was a real issue. Like I was so sick that I couldn't do anything.
When I had the pneumonia, I would walk and like I literally. So for you guys that don't know, I can walk and I leave my wheelchair in like the front of my house, and then I walk to the house. I literally walked from my living room to my wheelchair, which is maybe like 10 feet. I cried because I was
Yeah.
in so much pain.
That's the
I
thing.
was like out of it, and I'm like, this is not normal. Like, what the
Right.
hell is wrong with me?
So from this kind of discussion of like believing in things, stuff like that, I remembered an interesting story. So senior year of high school, I was kind of going through like this, I guess you call it a phase where like I'm a Christian. I'm very proud of that.
Are you Catholic?
I'm Catholic.
That's
yeah.
what it
So
is, okay.
Catholic. I'm proud of it.
When you're done, I got another question. We may not get to the rest of your life, which is fine, but I have a few questions
these
about
are
the
these are
Catholic
key points.
religions.
So I was going through like this phase where like I was saying like I don't believe in God and like
Went through that.
yeah, like I went through like this weird phase, and it was just I don't know. I didn't believe. I was just all over the place with it. I was saying I didn't believe in God, things like that, and something happened. So I was organizing a prom house senior year. My prom house. We were all gonna go down to the Jersey
What's a
Shore.
prom house?
So all my buddies got together and we decided after prom we were gonna spend a weekend down the shore, right? And we're gonna
That's
rent
nice.
a house.
That's nice.
And they were
You
like,
were gonna rent a house, or your parents were gonna rent
well,
a house?
so I did it. That was the thing. I took it upon myself to do everything to find the house. Like yes, my parents, like everyone's parents, like probably were the ones that paid for it. But like I was the one that like spearheaded it, like found the house, got everyone to sign.
I didn't have that experience.
Yeah.
But I had.
It wasn't bad.
My cousin took me to prom because he's a really good looking guy, and everyone was making fun of me because I said you'll never find anyone attractive because like I'm disabled, like just being really mean to me, and I didn't have a
Damn.
prom date. So my cousin, who's really good looking, he's like, and he was married at the time. He's like, I'll take you to prom because he's gorgeous.
God, yeah.
He's like, we will make them jealous.
Hell
I'll take
yeah.
you to prom.
That's
It was
awesome.
great. It was awesome.
It was a great night.
It was a great night. Like, some of the fast hussies were trying to, like, come on to him. And first of all, he was, like, 24 at the time, and these kids were, like, 17, 18. So, one, it's just, that's, like, weird.
Yeah.
And two, he's married.
Yeah, so
So he was,
didn't
like,
have any
jerking.
time for that.
So he would sit down and he's like, I can't go up there. I'm a married man, and
Yeah.
these are children.
Yep.
But it was awesome.
That
So,
sounds like a great experience.
I'll
Made your night.
forever be grateful for him.
That's awesome.
So shout out to my cousin Desai for being a great guy.
Shout out.
Now he has 2 kids.
There you
They
go.
are beautiful children. So shout out to them. They're in Georgia. So you and your beach house.
So, decided to organize this beach house, and one thing that we had to do was get all the parents, I think it was like 18 parents, some crazy number, to sign a contract.
Right.
So I played lacrosse, and I was pretty busy.
Right.
And it was hot lacrosse season. So me and my friend Alex,
What year was this?
this was senior year.
Like actual year?
It was 2014.
Yeah, that was a cold winter
Yep.
and a hot
Once it
summer.
got-
I
yep,
remember that.
Once it got warm. So it was a nice day. I think it might have been still a little on the chilly side. I think I remember I was wearing a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So we went to go get the signatures from the parents. And,
Right.
so we're right by my house. Well, I live on a main road, and we're going off the road. We're not going off the road. We're driving, and we're.
No, you said it right as a Jersey driver. You guys off the
Yeah,
road.
we all
You
just go
said it
off the
right.
road. So we're driving, and we get to a turn, and we make a normal turn, like everything's good, a spot that I've been at many times.
Yeah.
And we get to an intersection where here's a main highway, but there's no light.
Right.
So you have to cross it, make a right, make a left, whatever. So we're sitting in the car, we're waiting for our time, and I don't know what happened, honestly, but my friend just goes, and we got T-boned at 60 miles per hour.
Oh shit.
So we get T-boned, and the car does like 2 spins, and then we
Okay.
hit a telephone pole.
Oh damn.
I was wearing my seatbelt.
You
which
were?
was, no.
Ooh.
Terrible. Always wear your seatbelt. I will always wear my seatbelt.
That's why they're
Yeah.
clicking and ticketing people now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, and so initially, honestly, thought that I was dead because we had coffees. The coffee spilled everywhere. So I thought that I was covered in blood. So I was like feeling myself. Yeah, I'm like, fuck, like I'm bleeding everywhere. I didn't know
not
what
funny,
was going
but
on.
it's funny.
But I didn't know what was going on. I'm like,
Right.
I'm bleeding everywhere. This is insane. And sure enough, I turn my head, and my doctor is there. And I'm like, who's my friend's mom? My doctor's my friend's mom.
Yeah.
So I see her, and I'm
Were
like,
you at the hospital?
no, it was right outside the accident. So I'm like, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
So it's like, how did she get here?
Like, there's my doctor. I'm dead. She's like touching me. I'm like, just hopped out of the car. I'm like wobbly. She's like touching me. I'm like, she's like, take off your sweatshirt if you can. And I'm like, I like had no idea what was going on. It was like the best way I can explain getting into an accident like that is when you watch a war movie, when the bomb goes off and you hear that.
Yes.
So that's what it was like.
I've
and
had
not,
that
And not just like
experience.
that noise. It was a 6-7 car accident. All the horns were blaring, and it was just crazy. So it was something straight out of a movie. And so, like I said, my doctor's there, and then I see my aunt, and I'm like, this is weird. And I'm like, I'm asking my doctor, I'm like, am I dead?
You still
Like,
thinking?
is this heaven? He goes, no. So I see my aunt, and then behind her is my grandpa.
Yes.
Not that I'm far from home, but I'm just like,
Was your grandpa living?
yeah. But so my he's not doing well right now, but he's still alive.
Good. How old is he?
He's 82.
Oh, he's kind of old.
Yeah.
He's old, but yeah, bless grandpa.
Yeah. Shout out to grandpa. So, the point of this story is, we get into a crazy accident right by home, but the line of cars that were right behind us, 3 cars behind us, was my doctor, my aunt, and my grandpa. There was no correlation between my aunt and my grandpa being there. They just so happened to be on the same road at the same time.
Right.
My doctor obviously doesn't know any of them.
Right.
So from that moment, it kind of opened my eyes, and I was like, this is too coincidental to be it's too coincidental to have just happened.
Right.
Why? You know what I mean? Why are those the people that were there?
Because maybe, and you said during this time of your life, you lost faith.
Yeah.
Right?
And then that reinstilled it. Like 100, like really started going to church again. Like I was an altar boy when I was a kid, so I was really into the religion when I was younger.
Right.
And then that I was like, I still to this day, I look back at a couple crazy things. I saved someone's life while I was in college.
Right.
That was crazy.
Right.
And this accident experience, those are kind of the 2 things that made me wake up and be like, all right, there definitely probably is a higher power, and instead of being, negative or non-believing, there's no, I'm not repping it, I'm not telling everyone to believe in something, but there's no reason why I should close my mind and say, nothing exists,
Now, I 100%. So I lost faith right around the time you did when you were in college. God didn't exist to me. Like I don't know if you, I was adopted, I was in foster care,
Right.
I was going through a self-pity moment,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, if God existed, He wouldn't have put
Why
me
would he
through.
do this to me? Yeah.
He wouldn't have put me through. And it had nothing to do with like being disabled. I didn't care about that. I'm just like, my mom would have loved me.
Right.
Like she would have. Okay, maybe I still would have been adopted, but she would have shown something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I was just going through this whole thing where Jesus didn't exist.
Yeah.
And I probably went through that actually for a good 5 years.
Wow.
And I promise you, those were the most unhappy 5 years of my life. Because I didn't have a purpose, in my opinion. Like, God's not real.
Right.
So, and it took me 5 years to realize you have a purpose. He does exist. And now I believe in God, and there's no way you can't tell me that He doesn't.
Right.
And it just, the only thing that I regret is wasting so much time not believing.
Right.
That's like my only regret.
I like that.
Now, question for you. We're obviously not going to get to the rest of your life, which is fine. That's the point
Right.
of the podcast. I'd like to know your opinion on the Catholic Church and how things are going. Did you see, this was like probably a month ago, I watched Real Time with Bill Maher on HBO. Bill, I know you're watching. He's not. But he did a whole segment on how like Palm Sunday, one of those things,
Yeah.
like they kept trying to kiss his hand and he would jerk
Yep,
his
the
hand.
Pope, right?
That was
I
hilarious.
saw that. That was really fun.
That was pretty OG.
I didn't
But
understand that, but
maybe he feels like I'm not the
could
one
be
who should.
germs. Like it could
You
just
never
be
know.
germs. You
But
know, he's an
here's-
older gentleman.
Here's my question. Does your faith feel different because of everything that's happening? Like, how do you feel when you hear, like, talk show hosts and
Right.
people making jokes about altar boys and molestation? And I have my own issues with it. Like, I don't have anything against the Catholic Church, but,
Right.
like, you guys have a pretty good track record for inappropriate
Right.
behavior.
So interesting. I personally don't really. I don't go to church anymore, so I'm not really super into it.
Why not? Why don't you go to
Because
church?
I think that faith is based off of how you feel and believing in something, rather than taking into account, oh, I went to church 32 times this year, like I'm good, I'm gonna go to heaven. I think that faith is more about like living, practicing. Like I give things to homeless people, like I give stuff to homeless people, I hold the door for people, I do small things that
You think
I
holding
think,
the door for people will get you into heaven?
I think that any act of kindness that can make someone's day better
True.
is me living, doing the best that I can to be
Right.
a good person. And that's how I see faith. I know that,
I
in
agree.
the religion nowadays, it's more of like people like showing face at church. Like, oh yeah, I go to church on Christmas, Easter. Like to me, it's just, and what I've learned from, shout out to my parents, my grandparents, is it's just every day practicing it and like
Right.
not feeling ostracized for doing things. Like, for example, when I give money to homeless people, I give food. So if WeWork is throwing out food, I always grab it because there's always homeless people on my drive home who are holding signs, and I'll give them a cheeseburger, and it makes their day.
Right. I never give homeless people money. I'll give them food.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause-
I'm not gonna lie, I do both, but it's.
I don't do that
but
anymore.
the point of what I'm trying to say is, there's been times where I've been ostracized for doing it. And
By whom?
I mean, like friends, coworkers, like.
I mean, what you do with your money is your business.
Exactly, but people don't understand it, and like to me, it's just regardless if I'm getting, called out for it or what. That's how I, live by my faith.
Right.
If that's what you want to say. That's how I practice. Even though I might not go to church all the time, I will go to confession probably once a year.
What? Do you have like a long list of? All right, so.
Yeah, right. Like that's
Yeah,
what it
thanks.
is. I just like sometimes if I do something and not do something bad, but it's just like I'll be sitting there sometimes like I could use to get some stuff off my chest right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, do you? So I got in a conversation. This was like many years ago with a person by the name of Elijah. We went through religion versus tradition, like faith versus religion. And we feel like at a point where now religion is about tradition, about going to church and such, like you
Right.
said, and faith is more, you don't really need a church
Right.
per se to practice.
Right.
I know, I'm not gonna, maybe I should. Anyway, there's a church in Ohio that I've gone to. I can't stand it anyway. A couple there was on Dr. Phil because the wife, I know this couple because I have family in Ohio. My cousin sent me the article. They were on Dr. Phil because the wife said, I keep cheating and I don't know why. And but these were people in the church that were super religious and of high regard. So I'm like, well, does that really mean anything?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So where are you now, with your job, with your faith? What do you do now? I know you work around the corner from me.
So I work for a commercial real estate news and events planning company.
Okay.
Shout out. Was working. I was in New York City for a while, living in New York. It was a lot of fun, and they asked me to transfer. I love New York. I will be back one day. That's definitely the city I have passion for. But they moved me out to Philadelphia, and it's a city that it's growing on me.
It's growing on you.
I wasn't the biggest fan. It was a lot of changes coming.
What made you not?
It's smaller. There's not as much going on. The people are different. It's I had acclimated so much to being in New York City and fell in love with that city that now that I had to go to something that was smaller, different, not as much going on, it was not shell shock. I don't mind. But one thing is, I am commuting into the city now. But I move in 1 week from today. I don't know if I told you that.
No, you didn't.
1 week from today, I'm moving in the Sterling right across from the building.
That's mad expensive, right?
I got a deal, yeah. I'm paying half on rent.
Well, really?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't like mentioning people's finances.
Yeah.
Because that's personal. But you're the so where are you living now?
So I live in South Brunswick with my parents because I had to move out of.
You commute every day?
An hour and a half every day.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You still live in Jersey?
Yeah.
So you moving next week?
Yeah, next week.
I didn't know that.
1 week from today.
Oh. That's why I've been pestering you to take me to get something to eat.
Yeah.
And you won't do it now.
Because I'm a busy man.
I see why.
But now I'll be in town, so my schedule will be open.
I'm coming to your place to be nosy.
Yeah.
Not because I want.
Check it out.
Is Sterling the place with the rooftop deck?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You're moving in there?
I'm moving in there.
Oh, I'm coming over. Yes.
Drinks on the roof, baby.
Yes. I walked in there and I asked the guy, can I see your pool? And they're come back in May.
Yeah.
Because usually it's closed, it's supposed to just be for people who live there. But I made such a good impression. All I did is I interviewed, can I go up there? But
they're pretty nice in there.
I've
been in
nice.
there a couple times. So I went there to.
Do you have a roommate?
Yeah, so I'm living with a kid that I know. He's actually in Noah's fraternity, but funny enough, so Noah's my coworker. He was in a fraternity, Beta Sigma Beta at Penn State, and so was my best friend.
Who went to Penn State?
Noah.
What?
Yeah.
How did I not know? See, Noah is one of those people that's sly in the sense you don't know a whole lot about him. I keep trying to get him on the podcast, and he's like,
maybe this will tempt him.
Yeah, he'll go, I got to see what other people do before I come on.
Yeah, maybe this will tempt him.
I said, you work out, don't you? He's like, a little. I'm like, I want to know how you got those arms.
Yeah, he's got some big arms.
He's a big guy.
Big guy.
He's not really, but he works out.
Works out.
So you work for this biz now. You guys are like a real estate type company?
Commercial real estate, news, events.
Just so you know, Joe's a good guy. They're always trying to invite me to something, but their clap is at 7:30 in the morning, and I refuse.
We always try and get the WeWork people to come out.
Maybe you need to make it a little later, and we won't have this problem.
Definitely.
So in your life, where do you think you are now? I wanted to go back and ask you how you feel about the Catholic religion and all the jokes that are being made. Do you think there's truth to what's going on?
I'm not really in deep with that. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on with the Catholic Church. Yeah.
It's probably for the best.
It's probably something I say. But
do you want to know?
In life.
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
There's so many jokes and so many stories of people being molested by.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
So I know that stuff. It's just interesting because, like I said before, what the religion is to me and what it's become in the news media, like Jazz is saying, it's just two totally different things, and it's just sad that this stuff is really happening.
Right.
It's not like we're just spitballing, like, you see on the news, like, South Park will say, like, oh, the Pope's, not the Pope, but, priests are molesting children.
I like this Pope,
You
though.
see, the Pope, it's not the Pope, it's just, like, you see high-level people still doing these same things, and it's, like, I mean, Gandhi, he molested people. There's been, like, obviously...
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, he used to
I
sleep
need
with,
proof.
like, have younger women sleep with him.
Well, that doesn't mean he molested them.
I mean...
It doesn't look good, but that I need proof on.
Either way.
This is speculation.
Either way.
It's my chair, sorry.
But,
okay. Yeah.
So, there's some... Yeah, so, I don't know. With that stuff going on, it's just... I feel indifferent about it because I'm not involved and I'm not really reading that kind of media. Like, I focus, on the my work-related stuff when I read media in the morning, read news. But I do find it interesting because it's kind of like, I don't know. I never understand if there's political backing. That's the main point.
Okay.
I never understand what the motive is.
Well, did you hear there's a story? Do you watch the news at all?
I do watch the news.
So they had a story the other day, like I think he's a music teacher. He is being charged with molesting or having sex with some of his students. And of course he's been fired from the school, but then like the last 5 seconds, the newscaster's like, other schools that he's worked at in the past are scrambling to find out if there have been any issues. And I'm like, if you have to scramble, that means there have been issues. And my personal opinion, that's one of the things I have. Penn State.
You have to scramble, it's the issue.
Oh, God. I don't even want to get it.
One of the worst ones of all time.
It's horrible. No, I don't think it's the worst. I think it's the first one to come out.
And get blown out.
And blown out.
Get blown up the way that it did.
But I don't think it's the worst. But on that happy note, I always want to end my podcast on positive notes. So, Jeff, first I always ask, do you have any questions or anything you want to ask me? Oh, God.
Let me think about this. I didn't know that the mic was going to turn over to me.
The mic's been on you the whole time. What are you talking about? This is the Joe Show.
I didn't know I was going to be the question asker.
If you don't have any questions, that's great.
I don't really have any questions.
All right, so tell us something funny. I always like to end things like that. Tell us something funny, something from your childhood. Do you have a joke? Like, tell us something.
Let's see, something funny.
Something that happened today, like anything in your life. Gotta end happy.
I'm gonna shout out my coworker Noah here once again.
Yes, Noah, come on the podcast. Stop being a punk.
So I kind of mentioned a little bit before. I went to a boxing class today.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that.
Boxing class in the gym. So the last time we were at the class downstairs.
Okay.
Last time we were at the class, we shower after. So we were showering, and sure enough, Noah comes out of the shower and he goes,
God.
"I dropped my clean underwear in the shower." So what do I do?
Free ball.
Free ball it, but he was wearing big jeans that were too big. Buy new underwear, or wear the used underwear.
Ew, no, don't use the used underwear. Free ball it. You're better off free balling.
I'm going to leave this one open. I'm not going to say what happened.
What do you guys think happened? Did Noah free ball? Did he put on his old underwear? Or did he put on wet underwear?
And remember, this is funny, so think outside the box on this one.
I went to SeaWorld maybe like 9 years ago, and it was so hazy and hot in Florida. I sat down on a bench, and my underwear got soaked, and I had to walk around with
wet pants,
wet pants, soggy underwear, and I was
Shout out
pissed.
Soggy Pants Ackerman.
Sog out. Shout out to soggy underwear. But thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Always a pleasure.
You're
Thank
a nice
you for
guy.
having me.
Oh damn, his hands were sweaty.
Yeah, I get a little nervous sometimes.
Yeah, but you seem like a very nice guy. I like that you're social. Thank you guys so much for watching this podcast. If you like it, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment below. Tell us what you think happened to Noah. And if you like and you want to support the channel, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and consider becoming a patron for $5 a month. You get extra perks. I'm going to start doing an after podcast show. And if you're interested in that, the only way you can watch that is on Patreon for $5 a month. And with that being said, have a fantastic day. Stay blessed. And if you are a religious person, don't lose your faith. And if you have, I pray you come back to it. And if you're not religious, I hope you find something to believe in. All right, goodbye.